Hey there, welcome back. What have you been up to for the past couple months? Um, yeah, I don't. I, the last two posts that I put up were both in January. I did one for vinegar pie, and I did one for focaccia that I actually baked on a weeknight. Um, and I actually went back and looked. I was watching the videos in them, and in the one for the vinegar pie, which was like mid January, I actually said, there's a lot going on in the world, and so it feels a little weird blogging about food. And I was like, what the heck was going on in the middle of January? I don't even remember. So I scrolled down, and I was talking apparently about the Australian wildfires, um, which seem like so long ago, right? 2 months, and it seems like a completely different world. Anyway, so what have you been up to? We've been working from home for the past 2.5 weeks. Kind of some different situations around our work. My work had a proximity situation, so they were like being extra careful. So we just kind of decided if I was going to be sent home because I might have an issue, then it probably makes sense that Christopher, who is with me at all times, should also probably be sent home since we live in the same house. Um, so anyway, we've both been home for 2.5 weeks. The dog is very happy. She loves the fact that we're here. She's very exhausted at the end of the day because she's been running up and down the stairs checking on us. But in the meantime, okay, we're in Minnesota, so we have not had an official lockdown, but they are now saying, it's a stay-at-home order. It's Minnesota, so it's a very strong request, unless you're an essential employee somewhere. So that just kicked in on Friday for 2 weeks, so we'll see how that all goes. But in the meantime, so I do find it interesting that everybody's been, we've had all the stuff online about the grocery store shelves being empty. I want to know what everybody's doing with all the flour. All the people who have never baked a day in their life are suddenly running to the grocery store to buy flour, sugar, eggs. I applaud them. I think it's great. I'm seeing stuff all over the place of people trying out new skills in the kitchen. I'm a little worried for some of them because I know some of the people who are doing this, and I'm like, wow, okay, in over your head much? But I'm happy for them, and that's why I do these posts. It's to help people kind of figure out that it's not all so difficult, it's fairly easy. So if you are someone who was lucky enough to get bread flour, and if you just happen to have yeast, which I do, and I also have bread flour, I also have salt, and I have water, and that's the 4 ingredients for the loaf of bread that I've decided I'm going to make today. Why? I've never made an actual loaf of bread before. I've made bread machine bread. I've made that focaccia, which we've seen twice. I've never actually made a kneaded loaf of yeasted bread. I've made banana bread and some chocolate chip bread. Lots of muffins, lots of quick breads, but never actually just like a kneaded loaf of bread. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And if you're wondering where I got the recipe, it's from here. A number of years ago, a friend of mine sent me this cookbook. She's the kind of person that we don't really have a reason to be really good friends. We have things that sort of cross and are sort of in common, but we met at a time which seems like it actually probably was decades ago. I was going to say it seems like decades ago. It probably was. We met when we just somehow clicked. And so we've seen each other multiple times since then. We keep in touch, especially through social media, which is one of the weird things about right now is how well social media is doing. But so she sent me this cookbook, and I love it because of that. We both like to read cookbooks, just like not necessarily use them all, but read through them. So that's where I got this. So Nigel Slater, and that's where this bread recipe came from. So I'm going to work on that. It's pretty quick and easy. We learned from the focaccia that there's not a lot to make in bread. This one I do have to knead, so I'm going to be working on that. But other than that, pretty quick and done. So anyway, elephant in the room. Yeah, see this? this is all the natural color. I saw a joke online that was talking about how give it about 3 weeks and we're going to see what everyone's natural hair color is. Well, it's been 2.5 weeks and you're getting to see what my natural beard color is. I think there's actually more probably white that hasn't come through yet because I've still got some dye in there. I've been dyeing it for like 5 years. So I'll probably go back to being brown in a few weeks. When I'm not leaving the house and I'm in darkened rooms for my video calls and nobody can really see what color it is, I'm not really worried about it. So you're getting a sneak peek. Anyway, this has gotten very long, but it's been a long time since I've seen you, so I apologize. But welcome back. And I'm going to go through some steps to make some bread, and in hopefully about 3 or 4 hours, we're going to have bread. All right? I hope you enjoy. I hope this all makes sense, and I'll see you down at the bottom of the page.